Vincere,
And I'm Riot.
and we want to welcome you to the show.
Seems pretty legit.
And we are setting clear and humble intentions to have you like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Welcome to the tribe.
Let's go.
I don't know if your love is free, so I don't want you to wait for me. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I don't know if your love is free, so I don't want you to wait for me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Watching my body move. Watching my body move. Watching my body move. And your lover, when my waist go round, round, round. When my waist go round, round, round. When my waist go round, round, round. When my waist go up, babe. I don't know if your love is free, so I don't want you to wait for me.
Hey, welcome to Seems Pretty Legit, a podcast where we dive deep into the metaphysical, the mystical, and everything that makes you,
Unique. Makes you who you are.
right.
Things that bring us together.
Exactly.
Things that we relate to one another that draws in the connection to each other. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here about. We're here to find our tribe.
Yeah, absolutely. So after a long wait, trying to get this thing like just the way we want it, we're here. And I think we're getting ready to connect with you guys in ways that maybe you haven't seen, maybe you haven't heard about, maybe you haven't known about. But it seems like right now, in these times, like it's growing. It's time to actually have conversations, like real conversations like this.
Definitely, especially with everything that's going on right now, and in our world, in our reality. I mean, we're facing all kind of different adversities, and everybody's looking for an outlet. We're all looking for just someone who understands us. You know, we all have a different, unique perspective on life. But where can you find someone who really understands where you're coming from, even if your point of view is just kind of like out there, you know? But there's somebody out there who's just out there as you are. So that's what we're here. Hopefully we can help everybody find that person or people for them, because no one wants to feel lonely. You know, it's a crazy enough world out there. To have to do it by yourself. It sucks. It's no fun.
Right. So we know that everybody's hardwired for connection. So our first episode is truly about connection. Like, how do we connect with peer groups? How do we connect with people while we're out, you know, and about how do we connect with people while we're going through things? You know, man, life is something else.
I mean, tell me about it. Yeah, I read something recently, and it's crazy how real the effects are. You know, I think, what did I read? I read something like people who lack close social connections only have about a 50% increase risk of early death compared to those who are well connected. That's like the same risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. I mean, that's absolutely crazy, you know? But I mean, when you're out here doing life alone, you know, that's just as bad on the body.
Right. A part of the real reason why I wanted to start something like this is because I had went through like a lot of tumultuous like changes where certain friends left, certain friends came, and there were times where I was sitting there alone in my room like there's nobody to talk to, and the therapist is asleep.
I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. I definitely gone through, I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, but like feels like long periods of my life where, yeah, I spent a lot of times alone in the closet, you know, just wishing that I had someone to talk to. But that was my safe place, to go sit in my closet alone, just trying to find some understanding as to what I was dealing with, what I was experiencing, and with no one there to help navigate you through those times. I mean, it could turn out, one or two ways. Either you're going to get lost and you go down the wrong path of negative thinking and spiraling, or you find a new way to process these things for a way that can help you cultivate a better future, a new way to understand the experiences that you're facing and how to get past them, especially if you ever have to come face to face with those again.
Right. There is something called, as far as like mental and physical health, there's something called social pain. Scientists have found that like the brain processes emotional pain from loneliness in the same way that they process physical pain. So when we talk about finding our tribe, it's not just about finding people to vibe with on a spiritual lesson or level. It's about something our bodies need for survival.
True, yeah, and I mean I think that makes perfect sense, because I've also heard a time, I think a while back, I heard something similar, except for it was that your experience, like your connection with love and the way that we can become like overly obsessed with it is about as equivalent as doing cocaine for the brain.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. So serious. Yeah, it's like a drug. I guess that's where that saying comes from. Love is like a drug. It's definitely intoxicating.
I will tell you something. Had one of these breakups recently, and cortisol and dopamine. If you got too much of that going on at one time or the other, it's kind of like somebody on the inside of your head just pulling levers.
It's truly like that angel and that devil on your shoulder is what it's like. But I mean, it's crazy because it goes so much deeper. When we're speaking of things like that, we have to understand the science behind it as well. The chemicals that are coursing through our bodies, and basically, what ignites those in each other when we do come together and when we are connecting with one another.
Right. So, again, we really wanted to connect with people. Experience is the best teacher. Sometimes, we're going through things and we don't see, how we affect people or how and why we need people. Again, there are also, like, especially in our city, we got Trade of Truth, and we got Zero. No, Zero is like the number one. I don't need nobody. Nobody.
I mean, he a Capricorn, so I definitely understand that.
Shout out to the sea goats, okay? Yeah.
We'll be all right, even if we don't have anybody. I mean, of course we desire, someone, but at the same time, we'll figure it out if we have to walk that journey alone. I mean, when you see a goat usually scaling a mountain on its own, right? So,
you know what? You hardly ever see them slide or fall down a mountain, but boy,
oh,
when they do.
But I was about to say, I did just see one video recently where they go head first, but hey, it was having a good time. Smiled all the way down.
Yo. No, that was a damn lie, because you sent me that damn goat. That goat was ski. No, I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm going to stay in my element.
Yeah.
Fish gang, baby. High seas. Let's go.
Slippery.
Yeah, you don't like to be caught.
But at the same time, want to be caught.
That's true. That's true. But we're two fish, so we're doing this all the time.
I guess.
Yeah. No, so, with, spirituality, there are some other things that you have to connect with, and that's called your soul, baby. Like, you have to connect with that thing.
If you got one.
You think some people walking around here without a
I
soul?
really think there may be some. Have you seen the way some of these people
You know
act?
what? We're gonna talk about.
There's no possible way.
We're gonna talk about the people that I think don't have no souls, and they call them narcs. I got a nasty for narcs. I don't play with them. Anyway,
I mean, we can, have that conversation. Well, we definitely will have that conversation. I personally definitely want to talk about that. I hear that word being thrown around so much these days. So just coming to a true understanding of what that is, I think is important. Nobody wants to be mislabeled as something that they're not,
And that's true. That's true.
So I definitely think that we all need to come to an understanding, because I mean, it seemed like the word just came out in 2019 and y'all are wearing it out. What was everybody before y'all figured out that word? I mean, that's the question.
What
That's
do we
all I
call
want to know.
them?
I just called them crazy.
Yeah,
They was crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you never know like how many of them are actually walking around. Even psychopaths. Okay, you got to watch out for those type of people. Sociopaths. Yeah. We'll get down into like the science of them all. I think like according to like, I'm a nerd. Okay. I am a nerd. I think like according to just narcs in specific, you got to have 5 out of the 9 traits according to the DSM-5. So, I mean, some of us have strong traits, some of us are not.
I do feel that as well. I definitely feel like more often than people realize, they will probably definitely have a couple of those traits as well themselves. On
Exactly.
That list,
Exactly. Because you can have one and not the other 5 or out of the 9, and be like, okay, well, that dude's there or that girl's there.
I may have a couple of them, or at least I've had some in the past. I mean, I feel like I can turn it off and on.
Caps are known as the devil according to the tarot world. So we're gonna talk about all that kind of stuff too.
My halo's on all day, baby.
She funny as hell, y'all. When y'all get to really know Riot, man, y'all gonna laugh, okay? Laugh hard.
I don't know. I hope. And the ones that don't want to laugh, the ones that don't want to like me, I love you. I really do. You're special.
I'm laughing because I know that she means it. She means it.
I do.
All right, so we also have cosmic alignment. And I think that we were just touching on that earlier, like with star signs or zodiac signs or anything, stuff like that. But there is something, that it does tie you to the stars. We are all so special. All individuals, we are all connected in one. Okay. When you believe it or not, when you are born, at the time, the date, the location, all of these things, it's kind of like the cosmos took a snapshot, just a snapshot of you, and that's who you are at that moment, that time, that day, at that geolocation. So we will talk about that.
What about all those people out there, you know who you are, who will swear to God that it's all fake and there's no possible way that any of this makes any difference in who you are and how you behave? Because there's so many people that just, I don't know. I really don't know what they think when it comes to what we are and how we're made up of multiple moving aspects, but they'll swear to God that I don't believe in that, and that's y'all problem. Y'all too busy looking at the stars and worrying about zodiac signs, and some people really think that that's a way to not take accountability, which I feel like it's pure ignorance.
I mean, you're going to have to take accountability for everything, but this stuff is designed like in a way where it puts you in the neighborhood of what you are, but then at the same time, like it takes, experiences and trauma and affection and all the other things that make humans human and how we experience things. That's going to obviously develop you as well. But that
Right.
snapshot is important.
Correct.
For sure.
I definitely agree.
Mhm.
Now, I guess then we'll ask the question of there are some astrologers and things out there who will argue and say that the way, or I guess the alignment of the stars are different now than what they were back then. So how are we even following our correct, birth chart, zodiac signs?
I beg to differ because, I mean, you can look up and see exactly the way the stars are moving around the planet. Every time, like every month, you could actually go and find the constellation where it's supposed to be at that time it's supposed to be. So I don't really subscribe to that. I don't think I can buy that. But hey, I could probably be proven wrong, and I'll accept it and move on. But I don't think so. But I know they did just have like some new old zodiac sign that may shift some people.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
It's called O, some with the O.
Right.
Technically, it would fall in between, I think, a Scorpio and a Sagittarius, I believe, which then pushes everything up. So technically, if that was the case, then I would be a Sagittarius and not a Capricorn.
Really? I don't know, man. Maybe it's like, okay, when that came in, when they reintroduced that or introduced that, right? Because there's no such thing as a brand new star sign or star signal or signature or whatever's going on out there. There's no new constellations. Like, God created it, boom, and left it there. Or most of our people who subscribe to one base religion will say it's the devil. That's the quickest thing to say when it's something you don't understand.
And we don't want to call one particular one out, but we know who we're talking about there, who will always say everything that they don't understand and refuse to do the research about is the devil. They refuse. I mean, it's crazy.
But right there in the book, it says, okay, like there was one excerpt like at the end where after Job went through all his suffering. Okay, it's my favorite book of the Bible. Job wanted to know why. Why did you put me through all of this? And the Most High just said, hey, and I'm not butchering it. I'm just gonna tell you how I took it. Hey man, do you think I have time to explain to you why I did this to Orion's belt? Do you think I have time for that? No. And that's pretty much how a father would speak, right? What do you think? But it's there. And then what about the son? What about what Jesus said when he was talking about the age of Aquarius? Follow the man.
He definitely did.
Follow the man holding the picture.
I mean, that wasn't the only
Into the
thing
new
he
age.
said in there that had to do with zodiac, but
Yeah, or okay, fish gang, stand up. What did you have to draw in the sand to let everybody know what side you on? A fish. All right.
Yeah.
This is the age that we're moving out of and into the age of Aquarius. And man, it's been really rough. It's been rough for a lot of people. A lot of people starting to see the veil has been lifted, and this is time to expose things and be around here with the no
Which
Diddy
draws
movement.
us right back into the part about connection.
Right.
I think that's why it's so important for us to be having these conversations right now, because like you just said, we are in a different time. We're going into what they call the age of Aquarius.
Yep.
And during this time, as we know, a lot of things will be revealed, like it says in the book of Revelations. And I think when things become revealed, you're starting to see things for what they really are. You see people differently than what you always saw them. And then, of course, it seems like that's making it harder to connect these days, especially right now with what's going on in politics in this country. It's making us so divided, and it's that's a bad thing. We should not be so divided. I mean, we're right now we're separating each other and ourselves about race, about our sex, about our genders, classes. I mean, it's crazy, and it's like we're all people. At the end of the day, we're all people. Yeah, we come from different walks of life. We've had different experiences. We have different things that, we have access to. But at the end of the day, when all of those things are stripped away, you are nothing more than just a mortal human standing there.
Right.
In your birthday suit. And that's it.
Your birthday suit. All the way down.
All the way down.
All the way down to your molecular core. We're all the same.
We're all the same. I mean, with all this stuff that we've created in this reality, we would all be the same. And then what? What would we then have to fight about? It's I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah, it really is time to bring things back together again. Like, I know we just had our election. Felt like Hunger Games in a sense.
Still feeling like Hunger Games.
It really does, man. Like, which side are you on? Either what was it, blood knit or crippin'?
That's what it felt like. Seriously.
Shout out to the independents too. But I mean, you had to pick a side. They forced you, right?
That's what it seems like. And like I say all the time, y'all can stick with the red and blues. I'm going to just be purple over here. So, hey.
You know what? This is very, very true. Everything about our show is very deliberate. The colors, it's about blue and purple. It's about what's going on in your head. Okay, the purple chakra is up here at the top. And that blue is from here. So we're going to think positive and we're going to speak positive. We understand, universal law, positive affirmations. I mean, the good book says that your mouth, your tongue is a two-edged sword. It was made to create and destroy. Okay? And if we're made in the Most High's image and you were just a little flicker of what he created, then you're the closest thing in his image, so you have to be careful about the things that you say, the things that are in your heart, things that you think, because as a man thinketh, so he is.
Your intentions.
Right.
The intentions behind everything is so important.
Right.
And we are going to definitely have a episode on that about just about language,
right,
and words, and casting spells, because that's kind of what we're doing when we're speaking, especially the English language. So we'll one of these episodes we're going to have to go and break that all the way down. Because I think I hear a lot of people waking up to understand that, of course, when we were younger in school, you just taught words and, learn your spelling words. And we just view it as, this is the way we communicate, which is true, but when did this form of communication start, and why? And why do we choose the words that we choose? Why do we have so many of the same words that mean the same? I mean, that means something different. And a lot of times the word that it means different may have a negative connotation with it. But here we are using it in a quote unquote now positive way because, that's not what it means. It means such and such. But the vibration of the word is still the same when it's said, and the universe hears it, but we're gonna talk about it.
Right. Oh yeah. So you said that, but then you go back to what words are, and again, like, we can talk about these things. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration, and I think like we're gonna do like a small TikTok reactions in every show, even in this introductory show, just to show you, like, who we are and
just keep
what we want to do.
Light and fun,
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes they'll make us laugh. Sometimes they may make us cry.
That's a fact.
But it's a way to kind of just, I think, showcase and bring light to others' views out there and again, a way that we can all connect.
Right.
So, yeah.
And speaking of connection, in our description, we have a Discord. So we, again, this is about connection. This is about community building. We really want to reach out. We really want to do things fun. We want to find ways to give back. The best way to do that will be through a Discord. So the link will be in the description. Even like day zero, we have our own music, as you can see. You'll hear some of these things as we go. We got awesome track list to set moods. We also have apparel, I mean, like day one, okay? And this is just, oh yeah, look at protecting energy around here. Mine is pop out, shout out, hey K-Dot boy, sometimes you gotta pop out and show them. You understand what I'm saying? No, but again, man, we're building something. We're trying to connect. We want to connect with y'all. This place that we're connecting is something that I needed recently, man. Like literally recently.
I could have used this probably about 10, 15 years ago, in all honesty. I had so many ideas on creating a safe space like this, but we'll get into all of that another time.
Yeah, for sure,
Let's just say the time wasn't right, and the vibes just wasn't right at that time. But here we are now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it took a lot to like actually want to show your face on camera, or actually want to show who you are. I mean, I'm a goofball. I'm a goofy nerd. Most of the time, I'm an introvert, wanting to do things on my own, by myself, don't need nobody. But I actually was humbled, and I needed this. So while I was going through those things that I had to go through, I was like, you know what? I got to do this. I got to create a place, a safe space, man. This place is for people who feel like they're marginalized. This place is for people who feel like they've been lied on or misunderstood. This place is for people who, are struggling financially. This place is for people who got a little bit, and they may want to look for some place where they can find out. Like we see all these people asking for money or whatever, and all of a sudden, what happened to the money? It's gone. It wasn't distributed correctly. It didn't. I mean, what are they doing? What are they doing right now? What happened with Kamala right now? There's $20 million.
Not even gonna get into that.
I don't know. I don't know. What the superstars say? We wasn't paid.
That's what they're saying.
And she $20 million in debt.
That's what they're saying.
We're gonna leave that alone.
No, but seriously. So one thing definitely we should remind you of is that we are just real lifers. We're normal people.
That's right.
Having normal experiences.
Just like you.
We are not perfect. We do not claim to be. We do not claim to know everything. And everything that we say and we speak on this channel is from our own personal thoughts, beliefs, and opinions.
Mm-hmm.
If we find some facts, we'll make sure that we cite those facts if they're real, and we will make sure we do our due diligence. Yeah, that.
Gotta lean on a little nerve.
And
due diligence. Let's
I am very. I'm silly too. I'm a goofball. So
yeah, this is not the real Riot. Okay, y'all gonna find out who she is.
I have multiple parts. I mean, it's a lot of me's. Seriously.
Yeah, there's a couple of me's too.
But we cannot wait to continue to connect with you guys and bring more fun, lighthearted, and some very serious conversations to the table.
Right.
And hopefully we will have you all's input in with us, having those hard, tough conversations. But we're here to spread love and light, and we're asking that you all do the same.
Right. So when y'all don't be beefing in the Discord, because we ain't gonna play that with you. You know,
Not at all.
it's all about love. That's what we're gonna do.
It is all about love
You know,
until you take me there. But it's still about love.
Capricorn. There she go. No, but man, who else do you think the show is for? Who else do you think? So we already said it was for people who are actually going through some things. People that, I mean, you can't afford a therapist, but you can come talk to a real lifer. I graduated from therapy, you know.
I mean,
Yeah.
people who think that, I think this would be a great space also for people who have the type of mindset that, oh, that can never happen, or that can never be me, or, those kind of people who just, I don't know, live in La La Land. They walk around with rose tinted glasses like nothing bad ever happens, nothing could ever happen to them or the people that they know. Well, here you'll find a lot of people who have experienced some things that hopefully they'll be willing to share and talk about, so that you can understand that everybody's story is unique, and we should not be out here judging anybody. Because
Judge and be judged.
yeah, I mean, some things we definitely bring on ourselves, but some things, people are not. It's just happening to them.
Yeah.
And they're doing the best that they can to figure out how to get through it. So that's why I think that this would be a great show for.
Right. And so you said people who said, oh, yeah, nothing ever happened to me. That don't happen. Oh, it just ain't your turn.
The non-believers.
It just ain't your turn.
Non-believers.
I was severely humbled, okay? And a part of that accountability, oh, man, dude. Again, I think I said this one time, like in an Instagram post recently, like, man, your wisdom grows from your mistakes and your pain.
Yeah.
You have to be tested in this life. Again, we're going to go there. This is just the first show, but we're going to talk about near-death experiences. We're going to talk about mediumship. I know a couple of those, but I had a near-death experience, and it changed me. It really changed me. I was making mistakes, chose to, be arrogant, be slick, and when you have, for some of us, man, God is sitting there watching hard. And the moment you do something wrong, boom, it's on you. He on you. Sometimes it's like, okay, his hand is there, and then he just move that hand a little bit, just for you to feel whatever he gonna send your way, because he gonna allow the enemy to do what he need to do, so that he can come whip you right back into shape. So you're gonna go through those things, but also, man, there's a spiritual aspect to this thing. There's power in. I don't understand how people don't understand what metaphysics are, but you walk across the carpet and drag your feet long enough, and then you statically shocking somebody. I don't understand how you can't put, vibration and frequency and energy.
They understand, they just don't want to. Because if you don't understand, ain't no way you would have passed that subject in school. We learned about a lot of this stuff in high school.
Right.
So cut it out. People understand, they just choose not to follow it.
You ever been around somebody and you got a bad vibe from them? Or you ever been in a place where the hair on the back of your neck starts standing up because something didn't feel right? I mean, metaphysics is for real.
It's very real.
Yeah. For real.
Whether you want to accept it or not.
Yeah. And I mean, I got a near-death experience story that'll confirm a lot for you guys. For sure. But yeah, I think maybe we should go into the reaction.
Yeah, we have a couple of reaction videos that we just want to enjoy with you all today. We know it's our first episode, which is just an introduction, just so you can see our beautiful faces and get familiar and know who we are. But we'll be here with you all. We definitely come back.
Yeah. All right, so let's move through the scene. And again, hold on. Before we even go there, man, I mean, again, you see the vibes, you see the colors, you see our background. Again, like we are out of the matrix. If you paid attention to the ship you got on, the moment you clicked on this video, when you seen us moving through, getting away from Earth, getting away from the matrix, we punched straight through the matrix to come over here to have this private conversation with you guys.
And I hope y'all left all of that foolishness behind.
Yeah.
Okay? Because that's one thing that's not allowed on this ship.
Yeah. We don't do all of that, man. We accept, we love, we move the way that we move, and we don't judge, man. We don't judge. It's a safe place only. You know, our part of the galaxy, I like to call it the Elysium Nebula. You know, so that's where we at. Everything around here is purple, pinkish, bluish. I mean, that's just the vibe, okay? That's just the vibe. But yeah, we'll see you over there. Let's get to this reaction over here real quick. Let's see here.
Venus, planet of love, was destroyed by global warming.
What do you think?
I'd have to say a yes to that.
Yeah.
Definitely feel like social media has definitely played a huge astronomical effect in the way that we connect with each other. I was born in I ain't finna tell y'all. I was born in 1900s. Let's just say that.
What they call us, millennials?
Yes.
Even though she look like she 15
I
or something
guess
like
that's
that.
what they call us.
They still call her, y'all. We'll go somewhere. How old are you?
Yeah, I was definitely born back then.
No, did
But
he? No, did he?
definitely born back then. And at that time, yeah, we had computers and I mean, cell phones were a thing, but mostly really those car phones. You remember those? You watch a movie and thought it was so cool, and I used to tell myself, "Oh, when I get grown, I'm gonna get me a car phone." Like, girl, please.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Even like, yeah, I'm gonna draw on my personal experiences and things that I've done, mistakes I've made. Like I said, I had went and put way too much information on social media because I was pissed. I was mad, or I was hurt.
Y'all gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have did that.
Just because we have these channels and outlets does not mean that the rest of the world cares.
Yeah, so
I'm just kidding. They do care. Trust me, they care more than you think they do, but not in the way that you want them to care. So that's why you shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff.
That's a fact.
I mean, go write it down. You know, go throw it in a fire and burn it. I mean, go outside to the park, put your feet in the grass, and scream and yell to the universe and let it all out. But getting on social media to blast people or to do whatever it is you think you're doing in that moment of being so hurt and so, you know, just angry or whatever, once it's out there and you put it there and people see it, number one, even if you delete it, they can't unsee it, baby. And for me,
y'all remember when he
my
did
brain
blah,
done
blah,
took
blah.
a picture, and
That's a
I'm
fact.
gonna always see that. So be very careful how you tread out here. One
Right.
thing that's big about me, I don't like embarrassing myself. I absolutely do not like it. We all do it sometimes.
I'll tell you right now,
know, but
piss
I
me
hate
off, I don't give a damn. Piss me off, I don't give a damn. Nah.
I guess it will depend on how mad I get. However, I haven't been that way in a long time, and I really don't want to go back.
Yeah,
I
but you
don't like
know.
that.
But I hope y'all see that flame from this Capricorn over here. I'm trying to tell you, y'all, they the devil. You better watch
I
out.
am one of the most coolest, calmest people.
I'm joking,
that
y'all.
y'all will meet.
Fancy is cool, man. Fancy is
Very calm.
cool. Yeah.
And if I've turned up, you must know that somebody really did something. They had to.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. Let's see what the next one got.
The data shows that we live longer when we have human connection. The people that have good support systems and that have a good social network live longer than people who don't. And we're human. We need human connection. People need us. We need people. And I think the more that we're going through technology and the more that technology is increasing, we're getting more antisocial. We're becoming more connected through technology as opposed to connection in real life. It's really important to have and maintain those social bonds and those social connections that we need just because we're human.
I feel that
You know, let me see. So like, it's pretty crazy. Like, human connection is like something that we need in our everyday lives. I don't know how long you would like, and we can definitely put up a poll inside of our Discord where how much of this would you like for us to do, on a frequent basis. But like what we're doing right now is using, a social media platform to create, human connection, again, like, yeah, you do need that in everyday life, we just went through a pandemic, right? I think, what are they saying now? Like, what's the latest thing? Pneumonia or something like that. They had like a couple of cases like in Atlanta or something like that, I think. But, I mean, whatever that is. But we'll come back, to our connection. Like we have to create that. And our job is to open up and speak to the people who may be considered weirdos. This is for the offbeat weirdos, like me, like seriously. I got a lot of hobbies, a lot of things I like to do and have fun and stuff like that. Talk about, be about, So yeah, we'll talk about those things too.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like that is true, but I'm more and more every day also becoming a firm believer of two things can be true at once, duality. For some, that is true. And I do feel like, yes, we do need human connection. And we're not just speaking about like intimate, relationship with you and your significant other, but just in general, whether you have friends or, family member, rather they're extended or close relatives, it is important to have somebody else that you can connect with, talk to, have an outlet, learn some things from if you need to. But I've also have heard on the flip side, there are plenty of other humans out there who, when they've lived long, they're in their later years of life, their 80s, 90s, and then when you ask them in these interviews what was the key to them living so long, they'll tell you that being kind of to themselves, stand by themselves, limits their stress, keep it down, things like that. So I do believe that when we're talking about connection, we have to remember that we're not just only speaking about these intimate, significant other relationships. And I wanted
Right.
to make sure we say that because
Right.
I do feel like we can get caught up as a collective with focusing on that and that only way too much. And it creates a lot of problems. And I feel like that's kind of where we are now. People just so focused on that. And we forget about all the other problems in the community that we need to tackle and take care of because everybody's so worried about finding their person. And now you're out here literally making that your every single day, thing to do when from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, you looking for somebody, whether you a man or a woman. You out here on dating apps, you out here going over here, you out here talking to your friends. Oh girl, I just can't wait till I find my person. Okay, you'll find them when they come. They're coming, but there's so many other things to life outside of that.
Right.
There's so many other things that you can focus your energy and attention to outside of that. That's great. It's fine when you find it, but let's be real. Most of us are not really finding it. Most of us are all coming back reporting the same kind of stuff on both sides, men's side and the woman's side. We're all coming back reporting our, terrible experiences with these people that we're out here shuffling through, trying to find these perfect people instead of just focusing and worrying about other real life important things. And then those kind of things
Like
just fall into
yourself.
place.
You got to worry about yourself, man. You got to do all the work on yourself.
And I'm gonna say that because I am guilty of it. I've been there. I've done that. I went through this phase of feeling like, oh, I'm getting older. I'm about to be in my 30s, and I need to be married by my mid 30s, and this, that, and the other. So
social
I'm
pressures,
so
social norms,
focused on trying to find this person,
people
going
trying
on
to beat
dates,
each other to the altar. Shout out to
Yeah.
the people who try to beat each other to the altar.
all of that. I mean, it's crazy, and you end up with a whole bunch of heartbreak and a whole lot of baggage and memories that you wish you could forget and all kind of stuff. Like, for what?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Live your life, have your time, do the work on you. Everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah. And just from the outside looking in, observing, and again, I've been the same person when I just heard you just say that yourself, focus on yourself. Like, so that is so true. We have so much work to do on ourselves that it's not even funny. I am realizing this now every single day that it takes a whole lot when you're working a regular 9-to-5 job and you're having to give yourself to a corporation, and then you may also be in school.
Work-life balance.
You may also have kids. You may have a spouse or significant other that you're also trying to give attention to, but then you're not spending no time on working on you.
Yeah.
Some of us are out here doing it. Shout out to those who are capable of doing that. You're doing great. But let's be honest, a lot of us are not. We are completely neglecting ourselves because we're too busy putting ourselves out there in so many other ways. And we think that that's what we call living. We think that we're doing it. We think we got it figured out. Hey, I'm good. I'm doing it. I'm this. But ain't worked out in my case over 10 years. Like, girl, come on now. So,
We're gonna get back in there.
just all kind of things. I mean, ain't read nobody's book. You ain't learned nothing about psychology. You've learned nothing about your own body. These vehicles that where our souls are riding in all day, every day. Oh, why I need to know that? I can just go to the doctor. These doctors out here killing y'all. Like, cause you need to know. It's your body. What are you talking about? We have so much work to do just as a people, and hopefully we can get to a place of truly understanding that.
For sure. I think let's let this one go. We'll make that point in a minute. So.
There is a deep spiritual appetite within all of us for connection, but we do not have a culture that presents us a discourse around connection. We have a culture that is predicated upon individualism and materialism. Your value, and this is, I think, across the political spectrum, and even in more compassionate narratives around identity, individualism is still enshrined as the centrifugal point. So I felt like that I was in a state of lack. I don't know what it is to be a man. I don't know what it is to be a success. I don't know what it is to have power. I don't know what it is, I recognize now, even to feel at ease, even to feel serene, even to feel relaxed. It's probably only by the time I got clean from crack and heroin and alcohol that I'd noticed that I'd been having an anxiety attack for basically my entire life. My life has been defined by addiction, and addiction is in part a lack of connection, an attempt to synthesize the connection to self, other, and God.
When I say
Whoa,
That was very deep.
whoa.
That was
Shout out to Russell Brand.
yeah.
Did y'all know that he said he was on all them
I'm not
drugs?
surprised. I'll just be honest.
What was that one movie he
Called
was
Get
in?
Him to the
Get 'Em
Greek
to the
or
Greek?
whatever that was.
When he was,
yeah.
what was they had a Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That movie is
Hold
what
on.
made me realize that he probably
on.
was in real life
Hold
on
on.
something.
But wasn't Diddy in there too?
was.
Diddy was in there being himself, and we didn't even know it.
He was.
No, Diddy. Wasn't it true? Like seriously, like he was literally like
Yeah, he was
like.
being himself.
It seemed, you know what? Y'all better go back and watch that. Get him to the Greek, because he was like, it was really natural. He had a big temper,
Yeah.
big temper going on in there. What was the other thing? It was what were they saying in there? Stroke the hairy wall.
I do not remember.
I'm sorry. Look, I got one of those crazy photographic memories. So yeah, if I see something one time, I already, I got it.
Yeah, but no, that was very deep what he said. That was
Yeah.
extremely deep.
Man, hold on. This
Just,
dude said he did
about-
all the hard stuff.
He did, but I mean, we're not gonna focus on that. We're gonna focus on what he really said,
mean-
which was
I'm proud of him.
that he didn't realize any of that until after he left all of those things alone.
Right.
You know, and like he said, we are focused on individualism and materialism, and not even just on a political spectrum. And that is so very true. And with this recent election, I think that a lot of us are kind of finding that out, especially unfortunately about some of our loved ones and peers, when you find out the way that they think is, opposite from the way that you think. And that leaves us feeling even more disconnected from one another, because how can you feel connected with the person that have these beliefs over here that you don't believe in, and you have every right to feel, both of you do, the way you feel,
Right.
But then the question comes, what's really good for the collective of
Right.
the people? And I think that a lot of people are not able to think like that. They just refuse to, because it is all about self. It's just about what I want, how I want it, when I want it, or maybe just the few people that they know. They completely forget that we live amongst billions of souls,
Right.
So I think that was extremely deep, what he said on so many different levels, which hopefully we'll have this conversation too on an episode will bring me to the conversation about just like the way we do relationships and marriage, and it is so that nuclear family mindset, and could it be harmful for the collective?
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the man's success. I mean, I'm a subscriber to, his shows, his Rumble, his YouTube, and to see how articulate he is, to see exactly what dip he just self-admittedly said that he went through, that he's done, and to see where he is now. Like, I mean, the dude's impeccable and dude's intelligence, so like, any kind of like substance abuse or anything like that, like this is always something that you can bounce back from.
Definitely.
Just seeing that, and it's
Anybody
powerful
that's
for
out
people.
there struggling with it right now,
Right.
I am rooting for you.
Absolutely.
Like all the way through.
Absolutely.
You can do it.
Because we know people, we've been affected by people. All my life I've been around people that have suffered from, and I have experienced the brunt of abuse from that, from both sides, from those who do sales and those who do use. You've seen all that stuff. I mean, everybody's had somebody in their family that has something to do with some form of substance. So get well, fight every day. Every day above ground is a chance to get better, for sure. For sure.
If you're one of those, you know, remember that you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting those that you love. But also, if you have loved ones that are users, remember to be patient with them. Be kind. You know?
Love is patient and is kind.
Yep. We're not perfect. Right. You're not perfect. When you keep running back to that same sorry dude that you keep running back to and you want to keep whining to somebody about it, it's just as annoying to them as you being a crackhead. You keep coming over here asking to borrow my microwave. So it's the same thing. No sin is greater than the next.
No. Yeah. So
be patient.
Be patient.
Be kind.
Yeah, exactly.
And light.
Exactly. All right, let's go. What's this one?
You don't know the role that people are going to play in your life. What I meant by that was not only, keep an open mind to the way that relationships can form and change and come back and whatever. But what I'm really talking about and thinking about with this now is like, everyone is your teacher. Every moment is your teacher. Everything in this life can be your teacher if you are willing and open to see what the essence of that thing is. And you can have passing connections and choose to not lean in on them. And I believe you lose out on so much opportunity, not just for like the intimacy of relating with another person, but also I think we all have keys that each other needs. For example, think about all of your closest family and friends. You all probably either work in slightly different realms or have different approaches to things, and when you come together and you talk and you share and you collaborate, it enriches everyone's experience. This biodiversity, that's that basic principle, but like in our own human social interactions. And so, you don't know what role people are going to play in your life, and you know that everyone can potentially be a teacher if you're willing and open. So what that means for you is if you are able to be open in your energy to connect with people and ask thoughtful, insightful questions, not just to get to know them and to understand them and to connect on a personal level, but you can ask them in a specific way that's like also to connect with what your thing is. And I really, really believe that there's something deeply significant about this and like what can happen at scale if instead of looking away from one another and being on our phones or staying on the surface, if we're able to be courageous enough to be vulnerable and connective and thoughtful and ask good questions, I think we can like really change culture. I think the kinds of ideas that can be born from that, the kinds of collaborations, the kinds of connections, like this is it. This is what it comes down to. It comes down to like taking such good care of yourself that you have the energy and the social bandwidth to lean in and welcome and evoke and connect and then be actionable upon whatever it is that happens. This is what I want to see.
Okay, so
yo, that's crazy. Like we're not watching these. Like we seen, we grab, we do this, but that right there is pretty much exactly what we're trying to say.
Yep.
Your everyday travels in your life. Well, let me back it up. Some people would say that before we even came to this plane of existence, everybody that we meet has a social contract with each other in order to help each other out along the way of that travel. You're the main star of your show.
I always say that.
Everybody else is supporting cast for you.
That's it. So remember that when you're also being impatient and you're not understanding someone else, they're the main character of their own show, of their own reality. So you have to forgive people when they forget that, you too are the main character of your own your own reality, you know? So we have to remember those things. I try my best not to take things too seriously when it comes to what someone's doing and not doing, you know, in their life or pertaining to me, because I remind myself that, hey, you know, they have their own life. Like, the way that they're seeing the world and viewing the world behind their eyes is completely different from how I am seeing the world and viewing the world in my eyes, which then reminds me of, unfortunately, how truly lonely life can feel, because you then realize that you are the only person that's experiencing it the way that you're experiencing it. You know, you can't guarantee that the person sitting next to you is experiencing this moment the exact same way that you're experiencing this moment. However, I think that's also the beauty in us connecting to one another, because then we can bring all those different experiences together as a collective, and it makes one big beautiful portrait. You know, and I think that's the importance of what she was also saying, that message that she was giving there.
Right.
You know, I mean, we connect on a different way, and it's something beautiful about it. We're all tools to one another. Everybody has something different that they can bring and give. I guess that question at the Red Pill podcast bros like to ask, what you bring to the table. I mean,
yeah, we'll leave that there.
We all have something different to bring. Like, why did you even ask me a question like that?
Yeah, nah, but listen, back to what she was saying. You want to go over there? Nope. But no, like, she was also touching on the part where she was talking about having your energies neutral. And that has everything to do with being content within yourself and at peace with yourself. And how do you do that? You know, some people have, how do you say, like, meditation tactics, you know, like how do you sit there for 10 minutes?
Breathing techniques.
Breathing, you know, and then exhaling. And then right when your brain wants you to get up, sit there some more. You know, how do you neutralize yourself? Again, grounding. She said something, Riot said something about focusing in on taking your shoes off and screaming. You know, go get your foot in the grass, man. Get all that bad vibe out of you. Yeah.
Go talk to a plant. I mean,
yeah,
guys.
And we'll talk about that too. They have there are all kinds of like examples out there where, again, you know, speaking. You know, your tongue is a two-edged sword. Speak life at all times. Like, make sure you're positive. Make sure you're, you know, keeping the right things in your heart, in your head.
And I was gonna say your heart and your head, because also your thoughts are a vibration as well. And once you think them and you focus on that long enough, they're out there. That's it. It's in the universe. You've released it. It's out there floating around. Somebody else, unfortunately, if you were thinking a low vibrational thought, they're on a low vibration for whatever reason. Maybe they just experienced something. Now they pick up your low vibrational thought you just put out there, and it creates just this nasty, vicious cycle. So, guys, we all have to do our part in keeping the spiritual atmosphere clean.
Right. No bad vibes. No bad vibes. But I mean, you know, there are other terms or other people who may have way more capabilities to receive and feel energy. Everybody does have the same potential, but there's some of us who do just have things on a different level. You feel things on a different level.
Yeah.
You know?
And those people should not be your enemies. Those people should be assets to you. I mean, you should have those people on your side, because they can help you. You know? But
some of us have just different levels of intuition. You know, some of us pull from a different place.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll talk about that, you know, as well. I have a gentleman that I am going to introduce you guys to that is amazing. Amazing guy. Brought a lot of peace to knowing certain things about the people that I had lost. I had lost so many people. I had went through a lot, man. So we're gonna talk and we're gonna connect. That's the only way I feel like we can, when we open up and share our experiences with each other. That's, let's diffuse, let's put down some of these, shields and swords real quick, and let's have a real conversation so that we can connect and understand each other and just neutralize things. I often said one of the hardest trips you ever gonna make is from your head to your heart, learning how to deal outside, or deal with people outside of with your heart, people that are not in your heart, but just being a genuine person to people. You may be mistaken for a weirdo in a world that's so dark now. So our job is to actually bring some light to this area. The great Thoth and Tahuti, that was his name. They called him Tahuti, but the Thoth, he said, as above, so below. And that's directly connected to the Bible saying what's done in heaven is going to be done on earth. So as it is on earth, as it is in heaven, basically. Or so within, so without. What's in your heart is definitely going to come out. What the Bible would say, out of the abundance of the mouth, the heart speaks. So you're going to find that a lot of these things are esoterically aligned. Everything is borrowing from one culture or religion, where you go. We're gonna talk about religions and stuff like that too. Neoplatonism, Gnosticism, Christian, Islam. I mean, all of them truly connect. All of them truly connect, and it's truly scary too when you think about it. But we'll talk about it. But again, back to connection. You ready for this one? Okay.
My partner and I are both holding a node. We are each going to touch a node so that you can see what that sounds like, and then we're going to touch each other's hands while each holding a node so that you can see what it does. That's not a good example of how important connection to any living thing is. I don't know what is. So, hope you liked it.
That was a great example. I love that little machine.
Like what kind of machine was that?
So there's somebody had created it to actually be able to hear what plants sound like. And it's just a frequency reading machine, and all they did was match musical notes to certain frequencies. So that's why it sounds like music, because we are all vibration and frequency.
For sure.
But I absolutely love that example, because how can you deny something that you can see with your eyes? People.
I mean, some people that you may meet will give off a different energy signature, and you're like, I don't know about this person. Or you'll find somebody's like, nah, it's just something about that cat, man. I can't put my finger on it.
They vibe,
Something
they
about
vibration just don't match. You picking up on that frequency, and you just don't want to be in it.
Right.
And that's okay.
So, like, you know, what we got 9 organs, 9 major organs, right? I mean, how many planets are there?
It used to be 9.
Used to be 9. But your heart,
They done changed some stuff.
yeah, they did. Your heart is basically giving off
Oh, and
a
by the
torus
way,
field.
if anybody out there who would say, no, it's never been 9, that means that clearly there's some Mandela effect type stuff going on. So let me know if you're one of those people, because I know what I learned in school.
Yeah, but no, torus field. So basically, there's a electromagnetic, because that's what we are. We're electromagnetic beings. We may even talk about how food was supposed to be our medicine, and now we have petroleum-based medicine, and who's responsible for that?
And we can go deep into that,
Way
about
into that
how
stuff.
even just a sweating on the soil, we are supposed to eliminate on the soil. That would train and teach the soil how to bring about the nutrients that you need in whatever it grows. But now we're not doing that. Oh yeah, it goes so deep.
And we're
It really goes
connected,
deep.
like we're connected to this
I
planet.
mean, like he
in
just said,
ways.
the Taurus field, I mean, that extends out about 6 feet.
Yeah,
Guess what we had to do during the, you know what, stay how many feet apart from each other?
right.
They were trying to keep us from not connecting, especially at that time, because there were some amazing things that was also happening out there in the space world that they were trying to prevent. So they did not want us all connected to each other. But it's crazy how all of that is aligned, how all that goes hand to hand. And let me say this too. We're not going to sit here and call very clear and evident things conspiracies here. That's what we're not going to do, okay? If it is very clear and it is all the facts right there in your face, if you just choose not to believe, you can just go on over there. I mean, we don't even have nothing to talk
You know
about.
what? We got a bay in the back of the ship where you can go and you can live in that ship until, you know, in that part of the ship until we get back to Earth and drop you out.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta come back, you know.
Please don't come back here.
No, but yeah, in all seriousness, guys, like, this show is for everybody,
It is.
even the naysayer.
Even yours.
You know?
I mean, even you.
Yeah, even you. You may
Even
want to
you.
just
You
laugh
can
at
still
us while
come
we
here.
talking
Yeah,
about.
even you. I'm
know?
going to mess with you.
Yeah,
But if you're here, you're here.
Yeah. The world, again, we are much more connected to this planet, to each other than we know. And we have to treat each other as if we are one, because when I was out there in that place about to die, like, this is something that I understood very well. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that for sure. But yes, you are a Taurus field. Your heart is pumping electromagnetic signatures and force fields around you, just like this planet. This planet has a Taurus field, you know. And
I think that there was something that recently came out that said that, of course, you know, we were kind of taught that the heart has 2 pumps and it's pumping that way, but they've actually come out. The heart is not a 2-pump system. It is actually a Taurus field, and it is pumping in that way. So yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah. So I think we'll close the show. There's something that I'm always gonna say.
Don't leave us. I miss you guys. I miss you guys already.
No, but seriously though, there's something that I'm gonna say closing this thing down every time before we put y'all back to sleep, so we can get y'all back home safe. You know, for this warp jump we're about to do to get back in the Matrix.
Go get in your pods.
Go get in your pods. But again, like, universal law and the affirmations of that, okay? The first one is, and I need you guys to really say this, you know, you're out there, you don't know where the next thing is going to go, how you're going to get from point A to point B, you really need to change your intentions, change your mindset, change your heart. This is only an experience to make you better. Okay, I really need you guys to understand that. The things that you go through are reciprocal patterns that you chose. It has everything to do with accountability, who you are, where you are in your life. Okay, the first one is I can.
I can.
Because you can do anything. You can do anything you want.
You truly can.
There ain't nothing stopping you.
Nothing.
If you are not saying that, then you're placing yourself into the seat of victimhood.
And don't be like, I can, but no.
Yeah,
you just
I
can't.
can, but yeah, it's like you put a plan together, you see it through, you make it happen, because again, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was sound, man. Okay? And the Word was good.
Spoken.
So you have to speak the positive affirmations out there. If you want the universe to give you different, if you want God to recognize you and give you different,
then be different.
you got to be different. And the first thing is go, I can, because I can. And the second one,
I deserve, baby.
I deserve.
Each and every time.
You deserve exactly what you want. Exactly what you get
I
is
was
what
just
you
about to say,
deserve.
now, that is also just I deserve. So, hey, you deserve what you deserve.
Yeah.
And if you're doing some stuff that's making you deserve bad, then you deserved it.
Do unto
Remember that.
others. Treat your fellow man correct, man, because they are you. You're just treating them away, only prolonging your blessings because you want to treat somebody away. If you can't do, then distance.
And that's what thy shall love thy neighbor.
Yeah.
That was instructed to you for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you look at the next person, Mary, you over here talking about how they this and they that and they bad this and they okay.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. I didn't get the memo that you was perfect, darling.
So we got I can, I deserve, I receive.
I receive it.
If you said what you deserve, then you should already be in the mindset of receiving, because everything has to do with intentions.
Yep.
Everything has to do with intentions. You speak it, is good.
And you gotta be open to get the things that it is that you're looking for.
You gotta feel like you deserve what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to receive it, then open your heart, open your mind, and let that be known that you are open to receive.
And we'll get through these. We'll get through these real fast when we get things down. But we have to talk these things out. So you say, I receive, right? But what you do when you receive, you don't just cuddle it. You don't just hold on to it and not give. It's called I share. I receive, I share. You gotta share with your fellow man.
You have to share.
Whether it be resources or energy, good information. Okay, don't
stop being
what they say.
selfish.
I'm not
Y'all
what the
swell
youngins say. I'm not gonna gatekeep. Yeah, that
Stop
means
being
I share.
stingy.
Exactly.
Share.
Exactly.
Open up. You're going to be walking around here looking like a Oompa Loompa trying to take in all of that for yourself. Share. Okay?
Yeah, share it.
Share
So,
your love. Share your light. Share your hope. Share your faith. Share. There's somebody out there that don't have as much as you.
Right.
Somebody out there that was never given that.
Right.
Somebody out there who did have it, but they lost it for whatever reason.
Right.
Now they just need a little bit of help so they can build back up. Share your love.
Exactly.
And your love is your wealth. Okay?
That's a
So
fact.
don't sit over here and think that you don't have nothing to give and nothing to share.
Yep.
You have plenty to give. You have plenty to share.
Yep.
Okay?
So I can, I deserve, I receive, I share. And because I share, because I have surplus of what I share, I'm thankful.
And that's a full circle. So guess
thankful.
what? You can start out with I am thankful. It's a full circle.
That's
It's going to
true.
keep going back into that circle. Okay?
That's true.
So you got to be grateful for those things even before you get them, because you know they're about to happen.
Yep.
And then be grateful
Yep.
after you already got them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So until next time, stay real
Stay mystical.
and keep shining your light, baby.
Peace and love, tribe. See you next time.
There we go. Peace, peace.